Thank you for staying with us. We still have with us our panelists in the studio as well as in our Abuja studio as well as on the Google Plus Hangout. But just before we went on that break, Abraham, you were trying to you're trying to disagree with some of the things that Olusegun said from our Abuja studio. Please go ahead.
Yes, he mentioned something about suspension not being a disciplinary action.
Yeah.
I disagree. It is a disciplinary action, and the test schedule of the 1999 Constitution as amended, paragraph 21B, state clearly that the NJC is the only organ that can exercise disciplinary action against a judicial officer. Then again, I also mentioned the role of the Senate in discipline a judicial officer, especially the CJN. No, not judicial officer, the CJN in particular. Now, we should not erode the role of the NJC. The moment we do that, we are definitely desecrating the Constitution. Now, it is very, very clear that the CCT, via an ex parte motion, granted orders that the president, the CJN should step aside. And the president acted on that
Recommendation.
order. That's where he said he got his powers from, to suspend the head of a judicial arm, just like Olumuyiwa have said. Now, let's look at it this way. There are pending motions before the Court of Appeal, which has a supervisory role over the CCT. And this Court of Appeal has told the CCT to stay action.
Let me.
Until its jurisdiction is determined. Now, the jurisdiction of the CCT is being challenged. Yet, the CCT is going ahead to grant orders until your jurisdiction issue is settled. Anything you do going forward is a nullity.
Let her chip in quickly. Okay.
So I just want to say that the NJC has to do with affairs relating to judiciaries as their position.
Discipline of judicial officers.
Yes, judicial officers. But the CJN...
And recommending to the president.
Absolutely. But the CCT is in charge of ensuring that public officers are declaring the assets. So let's separate the two.
No, we can't separate the two.
Walter Onnoghen is a man. He's a public officer.
He's a judicial officer.
Yes. He's a public officer.
And
then if we go to the NJC, yes, he was the CGN.
The head of a judicial arm.
Absolutely.
Let me just bring in Olusegun. Olusegun is in our Abuja studio. Segun, so Abraham is saying that everything that the president has done now is null and void. Do you agree?
Listen, first of all, I see it, Victor. The issue here is very, very simple. We like to hide under, one finger to argue, abandon the maximum and focus on the minimum. The question here is very simple. Is the Chief Justice of Nigeria, in a case in 2013, where Justice Onnoghen adjudicated that the Code of Conduct Tribunal is the only exclusive arm or the only exclusive agency that can call to question any issues regarding
who was involved in that case?
Desecrating the Code of Conduct.
Who was involved in that case?
False declaration of assets.
Segun, please, who was involved in that case?
We have a situation where Justice Onnoghen, this is available everywhere. Justice Onnoghen made that pronouncement. He made a pronouncement that the CCT has jurisdiction. They have the exclusive jurisdiction on matters that has to do with public officers not properly declaring their assets or issues that have to do with code of conduct. Now, the NJC has disciplines judicial officers based on the duties they carry out, the functions they carry out during their duties as judicial officers. The CJN of Nigeria has not been disciplined. In my opinion, asking him to step aside is like telling him the obvious. The man is hiding behind the institution to fight back against, all of these things that has happened to him. But the truth of the matter is, let me quickly. Is not on trial. Let me land. The judiciary is not on trial. One man. The man is the head of the Judicial Council, accepted. but he has no immunity under the law.
All right,
He has no immunity from prosecution.
I would
He
hold
has
you
no
there.
Immunity.
Let me just hold you there and bring in Olumiwa quickly. Olumiwa, just in wrapping up, of course.
Look, Victor, let me just quickly say this because I think the facts has to be laid bare.
Quickly.
This president does not have a penchant for respecting the rule of law. There are superior courts of higher jurisdiction that asked President Muhammadu Buhari to grant Nnamdi Sambo bail and that Sambo Dasuki bail. There have been courts that asked that the leader of the Shiite movement be granted bail. These are high courts, ECOWAS courts, all of which Nigeria has subscribed to its conventions, and some of which the Nigerian Constitution recognizes. This president has turned a deaf ear to such judgments. The argument that this president is following the constitutional order by expecting an unknown ex parte injunction to remove the head of the judicial arm of government has to be condemned by every right-thinking Nigerian. I will not sit here, as I did mention, to support an act to clean the ugly and stable with impunity.
All right.
It is wrong. It's unknown to our constitution, and the president is doing something that needs to be condemned by anybody who can read and write. Onnoghen's alleged corruption, failure to declare his asset, has to be dealt with in accordance with our laws. This hasn't been done in this case.
Well, let's
whatever the argument is. Finally, Victor, whatever the argument is, this is not the way to approach that matter. If President Muhammadu Buhari is allowed to suspend the CJN who heads an arm of government, the whole question of separation of powers enshrined in our constitution, guaranteed by that constitution, will be a joke. And it is something that no one would know what the outcome, or what the end result would be.
I'd have to say thank you for joining us on the program today. Olumiwa Amao, you joined us from Dunedin in New Zealand. It's always a pleasure to have you speak with us.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Olusegun Dada in our Abuja studio, I'd have to say thank you as well for joining us today on the program.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Also to Olokwe and Abraham. I know you guys really want to say this stuff, but there's no time. Honestly, there's no time. We can go on and on and on.
Yes.
But I mean, thank you again for joining us on the program and sharing your thoughts. But that's where we are. We'll be back in a moment with the most viewed videos on our YouTube channel in the past week. Please stay with us.
The video where brother of estranged Senator Dino Melaye, alleging that the Nigerian police is out to cause him harm, begins this week's most viewed videos.
I believe they are out to harm my brother. If not, what is his desperation? Is there any law, known or unknown? Americans protect lives. Nigerian police takes life every day. What are we up to?
It is followed in fourth by that of PDP vice presidential candidate Pt.2, saying what the PDP will do to the power sector if elected.
What will be that major thing that is critical that you will resolve in 6 months, should you win this election?
Thank you. So that Nigeria can start working again, we'll tackle issue of power aggressively.
How many megawatts are you
not
promising?
telling what, we're not going to promise 20 or 30. I can assure you that today, no investment has been done to that sector, no proper policy or program has been executed there. We will put in place what will at least show a very significant increase without putting any number to it.
Third spot is taken by the video of how Senator Dile Melaye emerged from his home after 8 days when the police laid siege to his residence.
Chief, my brother should be there as well. Come, we need some. When the canton I came to, I don't know. Please hold it, I beg. Maybe by the time the robber see the citizen
Coming in second, we have President Muhammadu Buhari telling his supporters in Kogi State whom to vote for in the 2019 general elections.
I am warning you, don't make any mistake of choosing any PDP candidate. What they will try to do is to cover the theft they have committed against the nation.
In your first 100 days, what would you consider to be the 3 immediate top priorities and challenges that Lagos State faces and which your administration will resolve to fix? Mr. Gbadamosi, starting off with you.
And first place is taken by the Lagos State 2019 governorship debate.
Well, there you go. Those were the most viewed videos on our YouTube channel in the past week, and that's the program this week. Do remember, we keep it going on our social media handles showing on your screen. Bye for now. I'm Victor Matthias.